Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, I am going to start the class. Okay. So today we are going to do the stitching of the blouse, whatever the blouse we have completed yesterday. All of you done with the cutting? Done with the fabric cutting? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yeah. Yes, you have posted in group that only, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that only. I have
See,
just
this
confusion
kind
is there.
of
So that's why.
pattern making method blouse, you can't directly mark on the fabric. Okay. Why? Because we
Okay.
are cutting the paper pattern. Once we do the cutting,
Hmm.
you have to give the seam allowances. Okay. So in the pattern,
Okay.
we are not providing any seam allowances. While we are laying on the fabric only,
Okay.
we are providing the seam allowances. Okay. For this method.
Okay.
Whatever the method I am
Okay.
saying now, for this method of the blouse,
Hmm.
it is not possible to directly mark on the fabric. Back pattern you can mark without, the paper pattern, back pattern you can directly mark on the fabric itself. But coming to the front pattern,
Oh.
you have to compulsory do it on the pattern on, means like paper
So,
or chart. Okay.
hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Shoulders. I have that out, ma'am.
Shoulder concept is similar. If you want only
Okay.
shoulder, then you can directly mark it on the fabric also. Okay.
Okay. There 1/8 point is there, na, so that's why
Huh.
there.
That also, everything is
There
same.
I.
1 by 8
Okay.
you have to give for front and back.
Okay.
Okay. But
Hmm.
whereas coming to this band part separation, you need
Hmm.
to, some 1 centimeter of the seam allowance should be required for stitching purpose. For that
Hmm. Okay.
reason, you are not able to, means like nobody will not able to mark directly on the fabric by using this paper pattern method. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So let's start the stitching. First, first take the back pattern. So in the back pattern, we have these.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. Tell me.
I'm using lining blouse, ma'am. So how to cut the lining, the original material with the same measurement or extra? How to cut?
Okay, 1 second. I'll show you how to do with the lining.
Mm.
See here, for example, I'm showing this is the lining. Okay, this is the lining fabric, and this one is the main fabric. Okay, this fabric is the main. First, what you have to do is whatever the cuttings we done yesterday, means this one. For example, assume that this is the pattern. Okay, so just do the pattern, means lay the pattern on the lining part first. Okay, everything you have to lay the patterns on the lining, and you have to cut the lining first. Okay, once you're done with the lining part, take those lining cuttings and place them exactly on the main fabric. Just fold the main fabric and assume that this is the lining, and place these cuttings and cut the main fabric. Okay, same, align everything properly, place them and do the cutting of the. Okay, so this is the lining, whatever the blue fabric I am showing now, this is the lining part.
Exact, ex
Hmm. Exact.
exact same measurement அப்படியே cut பண்ணிக்கணுமா?
Yes, yes, exact. Whatever the measurements we have marked, the same thing will be applied for the main fabric also. There won't be any change. Okay. We have draft the pattern for our exact body measurements. right? On the lining cutting, you know what we have done, we have provided seam allowances, extra, whatever is required for stitching purpose. Okay, extra seam allowances, everything we have added on the main fabric, sorry, lining fabric. And the same piece, another one we are taking. That is what. But after cutting, you know, you have to open it. Before stitching this dart, you have to stitch the corners. One second. Whatever the corners are there, right? So you have to stitch it. Stitch, and you have to make it one fabric. Got it? Understood, right? Then mostly.
Okay, ma'am. Oh, okay.
So like that you have to do with the lining blouse. First you have to mark everything on the lining fabric, and then you have to go on the main fabric. Any doubts for lining blouse? Stitching method is same. Only, what do we say? Only cutting you will be doing 2 times. Means cutting for lining and cutting for the main fabric. Other than that, everything is similar. So as I told you, for tracing the dart points, see, I'll take another class also, means like tomorrow I'm giving holiday as Sri Ramanavami. So there won't be any class tomorrow, and day after tomorrow I will take another class. Means we'll complete the blouse today, and for doubt sessions or any balance work is there, I'll complete on day after tomorrow. That is 18th. Is that fine? I'm taking actually one more day extra. I think day 5. Yeah, today is day 5. So day 6 I'll be taking. Okay, on 18th, one more session is there. Please be attended.
Okay, ma'am.
That. So just trace the dart with the chalk and just fold it into half. Okay. In this way. And just give a tap. Okay, then you can found the tracings on the other end. Okay, little light tracings that you can identify and give the markings. Like this. And take the scale. Take the scale and just draw the another dot. Okay, like this you have to do the dot transfer. Now I'll show you how to stitch this dot. First, we have to stitch on the, see, for dot we will be having 3 lines. Okay, 3 lines. The middle line you have to start the stitch first till here. Okay, till the dot height you have to stitch in middle line. After that, by taking the base as a middle line, you have to fold it and stitch on the other side. I'll show you that. I have marked on the right side. So I'll be showing different angle. So please, if you have doubt, let me know while showing the stitching.
Ma'am, we have to stitch with you only, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes. Tell me.
மேம் இப்போ நான் வந்து லைனிங்கோட தைக்கிறேங்க மேம். லைனிங் தனியா டாட் புடிச்சிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறமேட்டு ஃப்ரண்ட் தனியா பிடிக்கணுமா மேம், இல்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரெண்டே லைனிங் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டு ஒட்டுக்கா டாட் பிடிக்கிறதா?
First you have to join the lining. Okay, later we will be giving the dart.
Okay.
Don't give the dart stitches before. First you have to attach the main fabric and the lining fabric. Then it is fine. Everyone working with means like lining blouse? Or only few? Okay, first you guys just join the main fabric and the lining fabric. Okay, no darts. In the front pattern also, we are not supposed to stitch the darts first. First, you have to stitch the entire blouse pattern. Okay, means like the outer lines, you have to stitch it. Later, once you're done with the stitching of main and lining fabric, then you have to give the darts. Okay. Should I wait or should I start showing the stitches of the dart?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, please wait.
Okay.
Please wait.
Okay. Once done, let me know. Okay, those who are working with lining, just let me know. Tenmozi, you also starting stitching, right? You also doing stitching? Done with cutting?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I'm not finished my cutting work. Main
Okay.
fabric I didn't finish. Now only
Okay.
I'm doing.
Okay.
You continue with the class, ma'am. I will follow
Sure,
it.
sure, sure, sure. Okay. So first, I'll show you this one. Okay, the start stitching in the middle line first. To avoid sound, I'll just keep in mute. Okay. See, the stitch line is visible, right? In the back side and the front side. First, you have to stitch in the middle line. Once you're done with this middle stitch, just take this middle line, whatever the stitched line is there, as base line and fold the dart. Okay. So on the wrong side, I am folding. Okay, just give a fold. And whatever the seam allowance we have, seam allowance, not the dart intake space, just according to that, you have to fold it. Okay, see. Like this. Okay, whatever the line is visible, on that line, you have to start doing the stitching. This is the dart intake. So I am doing it on the wrong side. So for whatever the dart stitching, you have to follow this step. First, you have to stitch on the middle line. Later, you have to complete the dart. So once you complete the dart stitching, it will be looking this way in the correct side. Back side, the dart will be coming like this. Okay. So do the same for the another dart. For those who are doing with lining, First attach the lining and then you have to give the dart. Okay. So I'll be completing this dart also. Once you're done with the back pattern, the dart closing will be look in this way. Okay. This is what the back pattern. So with this, the back pattern stitching is completed. You can keep it aside. Now coming to the front pattern. Done? Everyone done? Or doing? Still doing?
Ma'am, doing, ma'am, doing, ma'am.
Okay. So for transferring the front pattern darts also, the same method you have to follow. You just, dart the dart points on the fabric. Okay. And you can place this another pattern on top of this pattern, so that the dart markings will be transferred to the other pattern. Okay, like this, you have to place on one on top of the other and just give a tap. Okay, so small transparent dots will be visible. In camera, it might not be visible, but for me, it is clearly visible. Okay, just according to those transparent dots, just make them, thicker. Okay, after making the dots, just draw the lines. Okay. So the same method, stitching of the darts. First you have to stitch on the middle line and then conceal the other two lines. So for front pattern, you will be getting in total 6 darts. So stitch the same method. Okay, I'm starting stitching. Just keeping in mute and I'll complete these 6 darts and I'll show you. You can start with any dot. Okay, here I am starting with the arm dot. Any dot you can start. See, while completing the front, bust area, you can see the shape of the blouse. Okay. So like this, it will be coming. Okay. So this is what the cup size. So do the same stitchings of the dot lines for the another pattern. So I have done stitching of the another side bust area also. Okay, so this is what these two. Once again, I'll adjust the camera. So this is the front bust round area. Now we have to attach the band parts. So yesterday I have cut only 2 pieces, right? I have cut it. I have done cutting with the another 2 pieces also. So now I'll show you in concealed method. Okay, how to do the stitching in concealed method for the band part. Okay. So till here done, at least one side of the bust area are done. Those who are doing stitching along with me. Stitching of
Yes,
the
ma'am.
lines is done. Okay. So now you just take band parts. Okay. If you are working with lining blouse, you have to take 6 band parts, right? So 2 from the main fabric, 4 from the lining fabric. And 2 from the main fabric and 2 from the lining fabric, you have to give the lining on bottom of the main fabric. Okay, and give the stitches all over the outer lines, just give the stitches. Okay, make into single pieces. 2 pieces you have to do in that way. Main fabric should come upwards and lining fabric towards the downside, and then stitch all over the corners. Okay, and make into a single piece. Then after stitching the main fabric with the lining, you will be having 4 pieces of the band part. Okay. So you have to do that. 1 second.
Ma'am,
Yeah, sorry
Ma'am?
for keeping you wait.
for
Yes,
okay, for normal bus, two pieces of band pieces are there. No, ma'am.
for
The 2 pieces also attached. Attached.
without lining you asking.
Yeah, I'm asking without lining.
Without lining, it should be 4 pieces. So that is why I have taken 4
Okay.
pieces. Okay.
Okay.
4 pieces of band part. With lining, you have to take 6 pieces. Okay.
Mm.
So why without lining 4 pieces? We are doing concealed stitching method here. For that reason, we have to take 4 pieces. So that no stitch lines will be visible after completing the band part stitching. Okay. Yeah. So let's see that stitching of the band part. So keep the bust area part like this, and these are the 2 pieces of the band part. So you have to keep upside down, means one on here and bottom like this. Okay, place these 3 fabric layers like this. Okay, you can just a little bit of this triangle shape can come outside. That is completely fine. No issues. Okay. After that, we have to stitch 1 centimeter. We have provided 1 centimeter seam allowance, right? Stitching seam allowance that you have to stitch. Before starting stitching, this is the cross cutting. See, the band part is in cross way, right? If you stretch here, you might get, wrinkles, or the fabric will get stretched more and loose will form. So don't stretch the fabric, just align it however it is. So for that, first you have to place the things like this. Okay. The 3 layers of the blouse, you have to place it in this way. And while keeping in the sewing machine, okay, first place this thing and press the pressing footer down. Okay. First give a little lock stitch here. So align these 3 and give a little lock stitch. And just keep the needle inside the sewing machine. Sorry, inside the fabric. Okay, I have kept the needle inside the fabric and I have lifted my presser footer up. Now, what I am doing is I am just aligning these 3 layers together. So here, we are not supposed to stretch the fabric. Okay, just lay them how it is and just align properly and stitch little by little. Okay, so that the fabric won't get wrinkled or stretched. And now stitch it. Stitch a little and again drop the needle into the fabric and align the all the layers together and just start stitching. Like this you have to do. Once you reach to the certain amount of after laying that, just keep the needle inside, lift the presser footer and align it. While stitching, this dart space is there, right? Dart intake. So this will little bit come outside, but that is completely fine. Just ignore that part. Remaining everything you have to align it. So this is how you have to complete and then bring this towards downside, the band part. Okay, in the back side also the stitches will get concealed. You are not supposed, means like we are not supposed to see the stitches in the outside also, inside as well as outside. Now what you have to do is grab from the shoulder onwards. Grab the blouse from the shoulder onwards, okay, and fold it towards inside in this way. Just roll over it. Okay, and send everything inside of these 2 band parts. Now align this band part and we have provided 1/2 inch seam allowance for the bottom area, right? So that 1/2 inch you have to stitch it. Okay. Okay, once you're done with the stitching, it will look in a single piece. Now, from the one open side, you have to grab the blouse to outside. Just pull it out. Okay, so you have to do the iron thing. Okay, so that the wrinkles, whatever, for foldings we got, that will be avoided. So this is what the blouse print pattern will look, and some excess part will be coming. Just ignore. After stitching everything is done, we can cut these. Okay, we can trim them off. And here this type of triangle piece also will be visible. Once we done the front hook and eye part, you can just trim these things also off. Okay, and if you turn the blouse back also, you means the stitches won't be visible.